YouTube. So, so today is a video on how Trump is unifying the black community all around the world. This is how Trump is bringing us to our greatness again. Trump is single-handedly fighting the black fight. Whether he knows it or not, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. So this video is talking about Trump removing the slavery museum or exhibit in Philadelphia. Yo, Trump is such an asshole. Like, this is so petty. This is like petty assholeness. Like, I can't help but laugh. Like, this is the president of a country, and he's so freaking let's tear down all the black history shit in this country. Trump, bop, bop. Trump gives zero fucks about anything black in this country or anywhere, just anything black, period. But I find this funny. I find it funny just because, yes, it's Trump and his stupid shit. And he doesn't even hide the fact that he gives zero F's about anything black. He ain't trying to hear this shit. He don't care about it. He ain't doing nothing for it. Screw y'all. But I don't agree with him, obviously. I agree with the removal of this slave museum. And now that's where my opinion kind of comes in different from kind of what the topic of the video is. This is just a little background setting up what the video. I actually haven't seen this video. I watched the intro and I was like, I want to react on this in real time. I didn't want to come back and watch it again just to make the video, because the intro was interesting enough that I gotta have an opinion on this, but not to the point that I want to watch the video twice. So I was like, okay, let me watch it with you guys and give real time opinion. I personally think it's a great thing. I've made a video or short before talking about, and I think I've also made a video about it, how Trump doesn't realize it, but he is going to bring that black power back to America. He doesn't realize it, but he will. All these things, these petty moves, he thinks he's sticking it to black people, is really just going to be in a sense, the stepping stone black people need to get back to just the origin, get back to who they are. I feel like black Americans in this country have been very cozy. I won't say cozy, but you've been going along with what white people have given you to go along with. You've gone along with the American government. You really have. You fully believe in this American country that is being led by just the white powers, really. So for Trump to be doing this, I think it's a good wake-up call for black people. I think it'd be good for them to realize this country really doesn't have your back. Because black people fight. There's black people that fight for this country harder than white people do. Now that is some riddle me that. Separate video. I think it's a good thing. I think it's an amazing thing. I've made many videos about why I'm so over and against Black History Month. And it's actually a trap that white people, white America, white leaderships, the white government of America, they know what they're doing. Why every year in February, they remind black people, you were a slave. It's to don't you ever dare get too big in yourself to think you are more than a slave. Your history in this country, bitch, we own you. We still do. We've just given you leeway and given you room to feel like you're free and amongst us, but we run everything, including you black Americans. It's our way that you follow. It's our way, and this is how the government feels about black culture, black people in this country. You follow us. I know you think this is your country and blase blase. No, this is a white country. For whites, by whites. Just because you built it does not mean it's yours. That's how slavery works. This light is like right in my glasses and it's bugging me. That's how slavery works. Just because you built it, because that's always the argument I hear Black Americans making. Oh, this is our country, we built it. It doesn't work that way, sorry. That's what slavery is. It means free labor. Just because you built it doesn't mean you turn around and you say you own it. That's the point of slavery, is you do for me and you get nothing in return other than told to get the fuck out. That is where Black Americans find themselves in this country. So it blows my mind when I really see Black people fighting 10 toes down for this country. That shit crazy. But that leads me into what I really want to talk, why I'm making a video about this and what I really want to talk about this. Because why I say it's good, it's great that they are tearing down these slave exhibits and slave museums or whatever the hell it's called. Because why do Black people want to walk around like, I don't understand how that's supposed to make Black people feel good. And the fact that Black people are now fussing about this happening, it shows you really don't understand the game. It shows you truly don't understand the bigger picture. You hear just every small thing hurts your feelings, man. Shit, this country getting so fucking pussy, man. Damn. Every small thing, it's an emotional response. I don't understand how any Black person thinks that's a good thing, to just be minding your business and you're on your way to the grocery store, but on your way to the store, you have to be reminded, that you were a slave in this country. Like, how does that feel good? But let me keep going so you can even see a little bit.
Tonight, in the birthplace of America, the Trump administration is removing an exhibit on slavery. The Park Service removed explanatory plaques from the brick walls of the Philadelphia home where George and Martha Washington lived. The plaques included biographies.
You see, I say great. Not for the reasons, though, that I know these people want to. These people removing, they just want to spite Black people. They just want to spite Black people. And it breaks my heart every time I see Black people bite. It breaks my heart every time I see Black people bite. But I know why Black people bite. Black people bite because if you knew more about your history beyond slavery, you would have zero offense about this shit. The reason you're offended is because this is a chunk. This slavery shit is like 90% of Black Americans' like history in their brain. They don't see nothing before slavery. Nothing. Every now and then you hear them speak of, well, we were here in America first. And they don't even speak about it from an understanding point of view. Black Americans speak about that from the perspective of just to say, we're not Africans. Not to even say it like that because they even understand Africa. They say it just because they don't want anything to do with it. Why? Because the white man has bamboozled you into that. The only history Black Americans, and obviously, my God, not every Black American, my God, you got to throw the PSA out, or the what's the word? What's the thing called? I don't know, just the public service announcement. Yeah, you got to throw that out there. Read the fine print. I know not every Black American. I have learned more from Black Americans, from some Black Americans, than I have any other culture. So my God, please, Jesus Christ, think with your brains. No, I'm not speaking on every single one Black American. Now that that's understood, Black Americans, a lot of Black Americans, let me say that, a lot of Black Americans don't see themselves from anywhere. They don't see themselves from anywhere. So to them, this slavery is really like, this is it when it comes to the history in their mind. So they'll fight for this as, oh, that's our history and look how far we came from that. How dare you try to tear it down? How dare you try to tear it down? So that's the perspective. That's as far as the knowledge goes of where you come from. That's why they fight 10 toes down for this slavery. Only somebody who doesn't know their history will be upset about such a thing being torn down. But let's keep moving.
Graphical details about the 9 people enslaved by the Washingtons at the presidential mansion. And
I know, I keep interrupting. I'll try to let it play some more, but this photo just really like, whoo. This right here encapsulates everything I'm speaking on. This is psycho. How the fuck are black people fighting for this to stay up? You want slave pictures of yourself on display in a city while these white fucking people walk by. This is what you want? To be on display looking like, just looking enslaved. This is what you want? You want to be plastered all over the walls of a public building in the middle of a popular city in America. You want your images displayed of your most horrific times. Your most horrific moment in society and in history is what you want on display for the whole world to be walking by. If you were a black girl and you just so happen to be walking by next to these group of white ladies, and all 4 of you turned and you looked at this picture, my God, do you know how small you look all of a sudden? While you look like the ex-slave, while they get to look like, we used to own you. They get to look at you like, aw. They get to look at you like, oh, wow. I don't understand how any black person would want this. So for there to be any black person or a person of color, I don't even know what this guy is. Sorry, no, it's not even about that. But I don't understand how any person of color, fuck all that. I'm talking about black people. I don't know how any black person would really want a slavery exhibit on display. How does that give you self-pride? Please, and genuinely explain your reasoning in the comments to me. How having a slavery museum where they have your mommy and your daddy and your children and shit, where they have y'all looking like you are where you are shackled. How is that a positive thing to the psyche of black people in this country? You walk by a building, you could have had what am I going to get for lunch? Just to turn over and be reminded of, oh shit, I used to pick cotton. Oh shoot, I used to be raped and just left dead on the street. I used to be gang raped and nobody cared. Like, these are the memories associated to slavery. So why is this something that black people feel gives you like a sense of pride? You think that because you don't know anything to really have pride in. If you knew your history before slavery, you would know that, this slavery that's just a hiccup in our story. Great, tear these buildings down or tear these monuments, whatever the F it was. Tear the exhibit down so we can set up what our real history is. Trump ain't ready for that conversation. America, the entire world is not ready for that conversation. Fuck just America. This shit is not even about it. This shit is bigger than America. Nigga, America is the place of judgment because this is where the devil is moving. This is where the devil is moving. This shit is about the whole world. America is just the battleground. America is the battleground. And that's it. Only a group of people who don't know anything of their history would think this is a bad thing that's happening. But let me keep this playing.
The historic timeline of American slavery. Now, just the names of enslaved individuals will remain. The city is now suing to stop it.
Why?
Unsurprising, considering that Trump has made it clear he thinks that we talk about slavery too much.
Nigga, what? We're supposed to be watching a video, but what the fuck ad did I just see?
But,
did this man just push his wife and child out the plane just so he could get with his side chick? back to a serious topic. Guys. Oh my God.
It's pretty astonishing that now we're just taking his history right out of the pages of history books.
Right. And I have to ask, what does history that actually happened harm? And who does it harm? I mean, in response to the lawsuit, the Department of Interior said that this demeans the founding fathers. Well, the founding fathers have historical sites already that marry these two together. It's not either or. Either you celebrate.
They said that it demeans the founding fathers. Yeah, nigga. White people just be spinning things and just expect people to eat it up. That's psychotic. They said they are tearing the slavery exhibit down because they feel it demeans the founding fathers. No, the founding fathers did that. It's not demeaning them. They did that. And I'm sorry, I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the channel or just in conversation, but anybody I speak to, especially any white person I speak to, and you ask them, what do you think of the founding fathers? Any white person that sits there and tells me the founding fathers were great men, noble men, because that's how they advertise it, and that's how they speak about these men in history books, in classrooms, in educational spaces, the founding fathers, these great pioneers. Anybody that supports them, that racist word, it gets thrown out so easily that it just feels soft. But anybody I know that has no issues with the founding fathers tells me everything I need to know about that person completely.
The founding fathers, or you recognize slavery. If you go to Monticello, you can walk through and you can see Jefferson's prolific writings, the things he wrote in his diary. It's often about the moral conflict of slavery. And if you walk outside of Monticello and you go down to the slave quarters, you will learn about Sally Hemings. You will learn about the enslaved woman that he, what we believe, had up to 6 children with. There is a way to both honor the legacy of a founding father and then also acknowledge that they are human and therefore not infallible. And we're losing that nuance when we erase history.
You see, black women like this are the reason white America keeps, just America in general, keeps playing in your face. Black women like this, you can't take any black person in government serious. Everything she said was so fucking stupid to me. What do you mean we are not going to? Let me just go back.
You learn about the enslaved woman that he, what we believe, had up to 6 children with. There is a way to both honor the legacy of a founding father and
that part. What are we honoring their legacy for? And it's a black woman. And these are the kind of people I speak on. These black people that are so fucking scared to identify with anything outside of America. So you're so thirsty to claim to be so part of this slave fucking nation. These founding fathers, what the fuck do you mean uphold their legacy in a positive way? But black women like this in the government, they're scared. They will be scared to acknowledge the real shit. How is a black woman going to sit here and say, honor the legacy of the founding fathers? Honor their legacy. You mean the men that would have enslaved and raped you 10 times and impregnated you 10 times? Like, what are we talking about? This is why America doesn't give a fuck about black people, because black people don't hold them accountable. Y'all keep playing nice with these people. You give them outs. You scared to hold them accountable. If she was a real bitch, just who stood on something solid, she would call that out. These men were not noble men, so why are we going to sit here and act like we have to honor them? Like, what are we talking about? But black women in the office, in black men or women in politics, in the government, they don't stand on nothing. They don't stand on nothing. She here trying to tiptoe and dance for the white man. Well, we can honor the founding fathers and still speak of the slaves that they raped. Like, that's really what she said. We could still honor their legacy and also like include the women who was raped 6 times and had 6 of his babies. We can show her grace and also like talk like what? Ugh.
and then also acknowledge that they are human and therefore not infallible. And we're losing that nuance.
To even see them as human, lady, you've already lost. You've lost if you see these monsters. These monsters that were capable of doing the most evil atrocious, just the most evil atrocities on this planet. You are mad and an absolute fool of a woman to even try to say, well, they're human. No, actually, if you if you knew history about yourself, you would actually know that they were not full humans. Like, not everybody in the world walking around is just a full human being, right? Demons are real. The devil is real. If you think that these founding fathers were operating on full human brain, my God, you need to stay on my channel and go watch other videos and just learn of a spiritual element of this world.
When we erase history.
They're human, and they were also human slave owners. So I don't feel any need to soft pedal it. I don't feel any need to make anybody feel okay about it.
Thank you.
They owned human people. They treated them like animals.
Thank you.
They whipped them.
Thank you.
At times they had sex with them. Deal with it.
Thank you.
Grow up. It's 9/11. Never forget.
I love that he said grow up. Thank you, because her perspective was so damn childish. Like, you go back to the playground. You gotta grow up. That's real. That's the best way to put it. Grow up to be able to have a real conversation and not be scared to express something real around people who, your bosses? Man.
It's Pearl Harbor. Never forget. Lives in infamy. Slavery. The treatment of black people in this country. Let's try hard not to remember. Not gonna work. Right now, if you're living in Boston, the disparity that you're living under, if you're black, is the median white family has about $285,000 worth of wealth. You have around $8. All of these disparities that we're talking about come from a historical head start that one group in this country was given. Now, we can try to talk about that in conversation and be brave about it and get through it, or we can continue to pretend like that and Jim Crow and white racist terrorism and all of those other things, redlining, like those things never happened, and we can stay stuck in the traction that we're in right now. So it's either the bedtime stories that you give to children,
facts,
or the real adult truth that you give to adults.
So can I just
facts. Everything out that lady's mouth felt exactly like that. Kind of bedtime story are we telling? We can honor their legacy. Honor what? Tell me you're scared of speaking around white people without telling me you're scared of speaking around white people. That's all that was. If you're going to be around these people to speak on a topic such as this, come with a real opinion. Come with a real opinion, not some sugar-coated. Let me keep this going. This was supposed to be a short video, and I keep going off.
To our conservative friends at the table, when the Trump administration is accused of pursuing racist policies, a lot of times conservatives say that's unfair, and then they do things like this. How do you square the two?
And I think we have, to your point, I think we have to accept our history for what it is. I think if you talk to some in the community, conservative community, they would say, is this there, to your point about marrying two together, everybody knows slavery is terrible, it's taught in school, everybody knows these guys own slaves. The question among some, and I would say in the administration, has become, is it there in this particular location to honor, and memorialize and remember those slaves, or is it there to diminish or somehow embarrass George Washington?
Does it matter?
I'm telling
because,
you.
It's slavery.
You're asking me. I'm asking that's the question that
does it matter whether the truth diminishes how people see a person if it is the truth?
No, I'm not disagreeing.
I'm just asking.
I'm saying I think that's, you asked me how people in the conservative community square it. That is what I hear from people saying, well, we all know they own slaves. Why, does this particular one, why does it have to be there to honor one of our founding fathers who, or is it meant to disparage him? I'm not saying I agree with Abby. I'm just saying you asked me to explain.
There are a lot of things that Trump does, but it's things like this that make him the polarizing figure that he is. And they could easily not do stuff like this, but they do it.
But to be clear, no one at this table, no one in the administration is saying we shouldn't teach about the horrors of slavery. That was
like I've said, I think it needs to stop being taught. I think Black people need to learn our real history, especially in this country. And that's what needs to be taught. Start to teach these young, beautiful black boys and black girls, yo, you are kings. You are warriors. You come from greatness. You don't come from a slave. No, you come from greatness. This is what our children need to start learning. This is what they need to start being taught. I am so in support of tearing all this shit down. Get rid of all this slavery ass monument. Why the fuck black people always want to be reminded that you are a slave? Like this, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. You want to sit here and be reminded every day that you used to fucking. Ugh. I can't think of the one thing of slavery. My God, that you used to wash these bitches' ass. Let me have a monument or an exhibition every day to remind me how I was a nobody in the eyes of these people. When if you knew your history, you would know you are way more than any of these people. But you don't know your history, so you sit here and keep trying to have a conversation with these people like you're ever going to meet eye to eye. You will never. You can't meet eye to eye to somebody who is below you. They are below you based on their actions and their support of said actions. You cannot ignore how America was founded. So naturally, black people, that should let you know you are bigger than America. But you keep trying to lower yourself to fit in American standards and have these little silly ass conversations like they care about hearing you and like you should care about even saying anything to them. Like, it's time to start walking in our greatness. That's what naturally shuts these things up.
Shameful chapter. I think the question is the balance. And I pulled up what some of the things that are taught in the Philadelphia school system. Widely taught that Western expansion was racist, widely taught that foreign policy.
But it was. You didn't just expand on a free land. You killed people to take over their stuff. That's how Western expansion happened. Like, it's the audacity for these white people for me. It's the audacity. Like, they say things that's so boldly, obviously a lie. But they believe it so hard because they've never really been checked for it. So they get to get away, they get to keep saying these things and getting away with it. This is crazy that she really just said that. Western expansion, lady, involved murdering nations, millions of people. Yes, that was a bad thing. What are we talking about?
Should be examined through the lens of race and racism.
I'm talking about the plaques that they're taking down. You're pulling up what they are supposedly teaching in Philadelphia schools. I'm talking about the plaques that they're taking down off of a historical location.
Again, I'm not removing any parts of history. I think there's a question though of how do we balance acknowledging this, but also saying America is the greatest country on earth. We got rid of slavery. We moved past that chapter.
We're the greatest country on earth, and we enslaved people, human beings, for hundreds of years, and that is a story.
And we've moved forward.
But we cannot. Hold on, just.
And that's what white people do. They want to be able to tell you, hey, it's over, get over it. Whoo, my God. I thank God I know the history. I thank God I know Black history. So when she does say, so when these white people say some things like, hey, get over it, you're right. Because your turn is next. And after you go through it, I'm going to see if you just get over it. Like, no, sure, you got to know your history to even just, I can't. This video is, oh, goodness. All right, let's keep going.
It's like we cannot move forward from the Holocaust. We don't need to move forward from acknowledging the existence of hundreds of years of chattel slavery in this country. It's not something that you ask of anybody else. As Van pointed out, why is it that Black people need to forget and forgive when we're simply asking to just document it accurately? That is all that is being asked.
Course.
All right, we do have to leave it there because...
Of course. Of course. Yeah, I know it was so bad. Of course it was, and we have to talk. Man, man, these white anyways, there's nothing black people can say to change white people's minds. There's nothing. Like, I'm over these conversations. Like, black people always want to talk. How in 2026 are you still thinking these conversations is moving a goalpost? If you don't go start sharpening some tools, start learning how to fight, start learning how to pray, like, it's, what did Malcolm X say? Black people want a revolution, but you're so scared to bleed. These people didn't scare. They were not fearless. I can't speak tonight. And I think it's because I have to go in like 5 minutes. I'm like trying to cram everything I have to say before I shut this down. But these people showed no fear when it was time for them to make their moves. But black people steady always in like timid position. You always just want to talk to these people. These people ain't talking. The pretense of talking that they put out there is a lie. To make you think, yeah, they're just trying to talk. Man, these guys are deadly. These guys are deadly. If you think they don't know what they've done out here trying to have these conversations with them, black people, you need to go and start revolutionizing your mind. Sharpening some tools. Learn how to pray. Strategize. If you read your Bible, you know what's next. So when these people have these little whiny ass feelings, it doesn't faze you because you know what's next. Ha! My God, it's a bitter season for them coming. Black people, man. All right, man. Peace.